put a child in care, what happens to it? What happens to that child in care? Do they look after it? No.
I haven't got much, but I've got this doorway. So.
I can't understand how you can do 6 months in the street.
Because I've been in care my whole life. I've been on my own my whole life. Because I always felt homeless anyway. You know what I mean? In care. You know what I'm kind of trying to say? Like, yeah, I had a bed, but it wasn't a home. Yeah, because I was in a hostel about 3 months ago on Facebook, and on my uncle's page he put, "I'm sorry to say, I found my sister dead this morning in her flat." Yeah, it's a massive circle. What happened to my mum, that's what happens to me. It's because I kind of want to be a bit closer to her like that. You know what I mean?
It's hard for a mum. Some people commit suicide, do a lot of self-harming.
When you get kids taken off you, it is make or break. You either come out of the other side or you will end up in jail or dead. If my brother hadn't found me, I would probably be one of the dead people.
It's like a horror film. I'd lost my children. I had no family, no friends for support. I was on my own. I felt that the best thing to do was to be dead.
I didn't push them away.
I think there'll be a lot of people that are surprised to hear my story.
It's a story about bravery and loss. I think the main characters are pretty amazing women.
There is a care crisis. What you'll see is pretty much every local authority in the country has a number of women who are repeatedly getting pregnant and having children need to go into care. Pause was set up to break the destructive cycle of children being removed into care.
A social worker had phoned me up and said that there was a new project that was starting to support women.
She is on the list. We just know that the mother answered the door in the dressing gown. She answered the door in the dressing gown, and it was a very heavy smell of cannabis.
Pause works with women who've had their children removed from their care, be that via adoption, via foster care.
If you smoke a bit of pot, that's enough evidence.
For instance, if you were dealing with anxiety and depression, 20 to 1 is going to be a great ratio because you're not going to be getting high from the THC, but you are going to be getting the benefits of the cannabinoid with the catalyst effect of the THC. All we want to do is help people. When you're using cannabis, cannabis is something that you can use daily, you can use safely. It's healthy, and it's a very safe way to either deal with an ailment or help you get through that ailment.
If you smoke a bit of pot, that's enough evidence.
Very difficult.
Can we say to her, it's an 18-month programme, we know the likelihood is he's not going to come back.
18 months really is minimum time if you want to bring about meaningful change. You have to create a space where for the woman to be the focus of attention, she also isn't pregnant. Because the minute a woman comes pregnant, then the focus goes on the child, because that's what it has to do. And that does mean it's really important that they are using some form of reliable, but obviously reversible contraception. They're actually having a pause.
You could work with them and say, actually, if he comes back, we would then support you into whatever you needed to do in your journey.
I'm going to continue to work with her, and I've said to her, all you need to do is have a long-term contraception, which is what we was going to do. But then she does talk about having more children as well.
And she'll feel that even more. Won't she? She'll want to replace.
Yeah.
Because she's lost him and she loved him, and
In fact,
she'll want another baby to love, won't she? I mean, we have a list of women, their names, their addresses. We'll go and see if we can find them first. So that means actually physically going out in our cars. We don't know what we're going to be faced with. That's quite interesting. Often people just generally don't know who we are. They think we might be the police or social services or anybody coming that the women actually might not want to see at that time. Bearing in mind, you know, she may have recently had a child removed, then you've got to understand it's like a dirty secret sometimes. People in general, families, don't talk about it. It's not discussed. It happened, and then let's move on. There's one woman here, she's had one child removed, has been a victim of domestic violence, substance misuse. She's got mental health issues. She's known to have self-harmed and have suicidal thoughts. Volatile and aggressive, heavy cannabis user, and she may be living with a registered sex offender. You can see the numbers of the children that have been removed. 2 children, 2 children, 7 children, 2 children, 7 children, 5 children, 4 children, 2 children, 2 children. And so sometimes there's not a door to knock on, so to speak. Park up, walk down a path, knock on a door. It's as simple as that. But never as simple as that. Might be a high-rise flat, the lift might be knackered. You might need to think about fists, dogs, drink, drugs. All you've got is a last known address and a name under your tongue. How to knock? Not with a feather, not with a sledgehammer either. Don't carry a clipboard or file. We're not kid catchers, hawkers or bailiffs. We're not the police. I'm looking in flats, so you're not sure which one it is, so that can be quite difficult. And one woman lived in the park, so how do you knock on a tent? Don't dress in a 2-piece suit. Don't dress in twin set and pearls. Not in Hull on a Wednesday, not on the biggest dates. Knock again. No sound indoors and the curtains are usually drawn. Most women we find aren't morning people. Sometimes they hibernate, sometimes they're buried alive. Knock again. Get an answer of sorts. Hello.
Hiya.
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm looking for Lizzie.
Yeah, speaking.
Hello, Lizzie. My name's Leslie. I'm not a social worker or anybody, I'm not the police or anything. Right. I work for a women's project, a women's project called Pause.
Right.
And I was wondering if you've got a couple of minutes of your time. It might be a yes, 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 which is really a no, or a no, which is really a yes. Knock again, keep knocking for weeks, till a crack opens up, till you witness the depth of the darkness, the shadows inside. Put a smile in your voice, hello. Then offer the end of a very... So we would do fun things, and that can be anything from ice skating, going to the seaside, having the nails done, having the hair done.
Thank you very much. Getting my nails done. Yeah. When I was pregnant with my daughter, he still beat me up and raped me.
Can we talk about what it's like being pregnant?
Oh, amazing. I love being pregnant.
My name's Melanie and I have 3 children. This is my first daughter. She was 4 when she went into foster care, and now she's 12.
Mwah! Love you, princess. It's not normal if you don't have pictures up of your kids on your wall. It's natural. It makes it more homely. My second child, she got took off my strip from birth because I'd been assessed from a psychologist, and she said that I couldn't have no kids in my care. Then I found out I was pregnant with my third child, and I was a perfect mum, but I couldn't stop crying. So my son, he went to be put in care. To be honest, I'd be in a mental home or something. In my eyes, I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. I call them kid snatchers. And because I cry so much, they decided to take my child off me because I was too emotional, and they took my child off me. And the minute that child got removed, they might as well just chuck you in a ditch somewhere.
You did really struggle with it, didn't you? And that's not a bad thing to admit, that, is it? It's okay. Sorry. Listen, you don't have to apologise for crying. What do I say to you? Just take a really deep breath. Yeah? Do you want me to get you a tissue? Take a real deep breath.
I'm just trying to fight it, but I couldn't. I just couldn't fight it.
Listen, Mel, we're talking about your children. Of course it's going to be upsetting, isn't it? It's okay. Last one. That's it. That's better. Okay. Get you a tissue now. Yeah. I think if you were to ask any of our women, they would say that when they're pregnant or when their child or children are very young, they'll have a very heavy agency involvement.
My name is Rachel and I gave birth to 3 children. I had both my children taken off me and adopted. With my firstborn it was harder because I had him for 6 months before they took him off me, so I got more of a bond with him. With my second-born, he was born on the Tuesday, early in the morning, it was at 2:45. He kept me up all night. Social services took him on the Friday evening, so I actually had 3 days with him, but I stayed awake with him the whole time I was in hospital. I was just amazed how he was sleeping and everything. He was so gorgeous. I kept my firstborn 6 whole months. You never forget, but some things best unsung and unsaid. No greater love, no greater loss, no harder trick than to squeeze those feelings once a year through a letterbox. The second was mine for 3 whole days, and I stayed awake to watch him sleep until they bundled him down the street.
I had to use every skill in my pocket to get her to talk to me, get her to let me into her flat, because she was very wary and suspicious of professionals especially.
My dad hates social services, and because I am so close to him, his hate has sort of grown onto me. So I hate them as much as he does, if not more.
Why does he hate them?
Because he got his 5 children put into care.
I mean, my mum is like my best friend. I can tell her anything, and I know she'll always be there and support me.
The pain Lindsay goes through is not going to be, probably will never end.
They give me at least an hour with them to say goodbye, and then the social worker picked up my son and I got in another taxi and I just said goodbye to my son. I just had an hour with him and he was gone.
My son was adopted when he was 7 months. This is one of the last memories I have.
He used to love this when he was in his cot. He used to snuggle right into it. Seriously, it was... all three of my kids did that, and even my oldest one did it. He's sick on it. I work out with it. But yeah, I know people find it gross, but to me, it means so much to me, and I work out with it. Yeah.
What would people find gross?
That there's a bit of sick on it. But I won't wash it because it's got all his scent, his slaver, his little sick and that. But yeah, I won't part with it. I'm just waiting on a letter from my son's parents. You had that bond with your son for 7 months and having removed from you, and then having that bond with your son and not knowing, waiting on a letter thinking, is he going to be all right? Just, I don't even know what my son looks like. Just waiting on a letter and then knowing I don't know what it looks like. I just wanted to know if it was all right, so I just took it out on myself. And I'm still waiting on my letter. I haven't seen him for, he's 3 now. And he got took off me when he's 7 months old. And I'm still waiting. So, yeah. Sometimes, obviously, I feel like I need to be punished. When I punish myself, I feel good because I feel like I deserve that because nobody else hasn't punished me, so I feel like I need to do it to myself. So I just hit myself and just because I'm that mad. Sometimes I have to see a bit of blood punishing myself. My support worker has talked to me and she said, take it out on a pillar or anything else, you know, instead of doing it to yourself. So I thought to myself, I might as well get a punch bag. I thought, I'm not punching a pillar.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the operation. I'm having an hysterectomy. Basically, I'm having my womb, cervix and fallopian tubes removed. I've got endometriosis and it causes a lot of pain.
Basically your childbearing days are over, aren't they?
People think because I got my kids took off me, they think I'm a bad mum. I've just got my kids took off me because I stayed in that relationship. I failed to protect. It's called neglect.
I would have just stayed at home, taking overdose after overdose and ending up in hospital.
I'll have to do it again.
It is pretty traumatic having children took off you.
Did you stitch this? Weeks and weeks to stitch.
Is that for design?
Yeah, we ironed the design onto fabric and then I had to choose colours to fill it in.
Oh, I'm so touched. You put so much effort in. And then you've stitched the beads on as well.
And no point coating the pill with sugar. I've swallowed so many, one after the other. Better to look to a brighter future, of a loyal groom with his jokes and rhymes, and a wedding gown made from miles of lint and acres of light, to soothe the heart and dress the bride.
I always wanted a support worker.
I think that makes a difference then. If you wanted to work with us, that's why it's gone so well.
Yeah, because I wanted to. It's time for Natalie to basically say goodbye, because they're only allowed to be with you up to 18 months. Said if it wasn't for you guys, where would I be today?
Maybe we give you a bit of a nudge, but you let us give you a bit of a nudge, didn't you?
I think I am ready. I'm not ready to have another child though.
Do you want another one?
I don't know, but all I know, time will tell. If I'm ready, I'm not going to rush into another child just yet.
In terms of wanting to change your life, Mel was ready for somebody to come along and hold her hand and say, I'll help you do it. She's achieved so much whilst I've known her, while she's been on the pause programme.
The girl in the flat shines every surface with elbow grease, till every inch of a mermaid's grotto glitters and gleams. She's ready in case that knock on the door is 3 lost kids wanting their mum.